gonna get down. Switch it up right now.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom. Never gave up.
I like
Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's. They have 2 locations in Minot and the Air Force Base. Search for Papa John's in Minot online through your device and seek out any deals that are currently available. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That is 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for their tremendous patronage. We will be right back with our next guest. Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's. They have 2 locations in Minot and the Air Force Base. Search for Papa John's in Minot online through your device and seek out any deals that are currently available. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That is 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for their tremendous patronage. We will be right back with our next guest. Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast.
Welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast, brought to you by Papa John's. I am one of your 2 co-hosts, Logan Dean, and we have 3 amazing student athletes here brought to us by the athletic department. With me today, and our first guest, is Grant Gabbert. He is a junior outfielder from Colorado, and he is currently on a 7-game hit streak and an 11-game on-base streak. Grant, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So before we get into the baseball questions, I just have a few starter questions so like the people can get to know you. So do you have any favorite restaurants in Minot, here in Minot, and like, if so, what do you like to get there?
I think my favorite would probably be Bones Barbecue. Have it a few times now, and my favorite thing to eat there is probably the brisket. Good brisket meal with some. They have a lot of sides, so change it up every time.
Good choice.
That's my favorite restaurant.
And then also, what's your major, and do you have any future plans with it?
Yeah, so I am currently a finance major, and with that, I'm actually working on applying to law school. So this spring, I'm taking the law school admissions test, and so that can further my education after baseball.
So that'll basically like decide where, like, if like, basically decide if you're like into law school or not.
Yeah,
like
so it's a test that's graded 120 to 180, and the test basically kind of weeds out people to where, you know, if you get a higher score, you can go to a better school versus the lower score going to different schools. So, my plan right now, I kind of want to attend UND. So that would probably be my number 1 option right now.
So planning on staying in North Dakota even though you're from Colorado?
Yeah, staying up north for sure.
So now we'll get into more of like the baseball questions. So when did you first get into baseball?
Ooh, long time ago. I would say around 4 or 5 years old, just playing t-ball. I grew up baseball my whole life, basketball, a couple other sports here and there, but mainly baseball and basketball. And then high school came around and just decided that baseball was what I wanted to do, and I just kind of stuck to it, and it's gotten to me where I am now.
And did you did you have any like motivation or any people that like motivated you like to play when you were growing up?
I would say just having amazing coaches from when I was younger, to into my high school days with both my high school and then like my travel ball coaches were able to just mold me into a more mature baseball player, to where I then went to junior college in Miles City, Montana, and those coaches then were able to develop me and just keep building every year and finding ways to get better. And I think that's what's motivated me to just continue to work hard, because now I'm at Minot State, and with my plans to go to law school, I'm probably not going to be playing baseball after my senior year. So now it's just like, what more can I do to be successful for the time I have left?
For sure. And you brought up that you were at a community college for 2 years in Montana. So just talk about your experience and like the how competitive it is, going from a community college to a Division II.
Yeah, for sure. So junior college was definitely some of the best times of my life. It was a big step up from, I moved 2 states away from Colorado to Montana, and it's definitely a small town feel where, all the athletes for all 5 sports we had were all shoved into the dorms, and you had every meal with your teammates, you had every practice, every workout, everything was with the same 30 guys for the 9 straight months. And, the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, but there's definitely conflicts, and you learn how to work through those. And so those parts and aspects of the junior college was some of the best times of my life. And the competition-wise, I would say, I think, the speed of the game isn't typically, like, much different, but I would say, like, some guys throw a little harder and some guys hit a little farther. And when you just keep it that simple, that change didn't really take too much time to adjust to.
So, like, the main difference is basically, like, the pitchers and, like, the pitch speed is what, like, basically the difference really is then?
Exactly. I mean, there's definitely guys in junior college that are better than some of the guys I've seen in Division II. So it's not everybody. But I would say over a broad generalization
that'd be, like, one of the main?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially as a hitter as myself.
It says you're 4th on the team with a .348 batting average, with 2 doubles, 1 triple, and you also share the team with 3 home runs. Just talk about like how that makes you like feel, I guess, and like how like the team, like if the team motivates you in any way to like continue to progress on that.
Yeah, for sure. Considering my 3 home runs, I wouldn't say I'm surprised, but compared to my junior college statistics, I've definitely been hitting the ball a little farther this year. And it's been a great time just trying to stay simple and not do too much. My teammates, they're very supportive. They always like to tell you how good you are. And it's funny because sometimes you like to joke around and tell people how bad they are, just to mess with them. But everybody just likes to always hype you up. And so it's great, and it's been fun, and hopefully we can keep going.
I mean, I can't lie. It is good to have like a good group of like guys and like a team to support you to like improve, like to help you like improve, even if you are like having like bad like hitting streaks or something. I totally understand that right there.
I mean, especially everybody's gonna be your best friend when you're succeeding, but if you're struggling, how good of a teammate are they gonna be then? And,
for sure.
But I think they're great guys, and all of them are very supportive.
And one little question outside, or to get out of like the baseball talk, what are like hobbies or like activities you like to do outside, like when you have time outside of baseball?
Yeah, for sure. I love camping. I think that's probably my number one.
Have you ever gone camping in North Dakota?
No, I have not gone camping in North Dakota.
Do you plan on it?
If you got a place for me, I could think about it. I mean, growing up in Colorado, we got the mountains, and spending time in Montana, they also have mountains. And
do you enjoy lakes?
Yeah, of course.
I highly suggest Lake Menagoshi.
Okay.
It's kind of up more like north towards Canada. It's like right on like the Canadian border.
Okay.
Like border. I highly recommend it there. It's just, I would say it's just one of like the nicer places in North Dakota.
Yeah, it's always fun to just get away and, the campfires and all that. That's my favorite hobby to spend my off time.
Do you have anything like now that you like to do, like when you have time, like with baseball, like in between practices or games or anything?
Man, free time. That sounds nice. School. gotta do school. I'm like I said, I'm studying for my law school stuff, so that also consumes my time. And I like, if I got free time, I'm probably just taking a nap or something. To be honest, pretty tired recently, so just
I get that.
trying to. I'm very busy, so not
So-
too much free time.
Before we get into any more questions, I would like to thank Papa John's for being a proud sponsor of the Inside the Dam podcast. Hit them up on their website and search for any deals they may have currently going on. Search Papa John's in Minot. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That's 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. And big thank you to Papa John's for continuing to sponsor the podcast. So you talked about, before the little commercial there, you talked about, You talked about how you really didn't have much free time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how you can maintain, like how you've been maintaining school with like the as much travel you guys have been having over these past couple weeks.
For sure. I'm pretty fortunate enough to be all online right now. So I don't have any in-person classes. And so that helps me stay ahead even when we're on the road, and I'm able to just do my schoolwork because school is definitely a priority and I want to get good grades and I strive to be a good student. And so being able to have those online options, while it's probably not my favorite to be online, it definitely contributes to some success when being on the road so much.
And it probably helps you more to like focus a little more on like the baseball like practices and your like game, I guess.
Exactly.
Instead of like having to go to the classes, like in-person classes.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if I want to do something baseball related in the morning or in the afternoon, I don't have to worry about class or anything.
You can just basically go whenever
Yep.
you pretty much have time.
Exactly.
And did you have any like favorite players like currently or growing up like in the MLB?
Ooh, growing up, definitely Todd Helton was probably my favorite player. Obviously, being from Colorado, I went to a lot of Rockies games, and I have memories of just going to the games, and one specific memory of going down and just kind of screaming his name, and I'm sure he was annoyed, but he waved back. So that's a big memory going to Rockies games and watching players like that.
Do you have any current favorite players?
Current favorite players? I would say Mookie Betts is probably my favorite player to watch because he's not an outfielder now, but he was, and one of the smaller guys, and I'm not one of the bigger guys on the team either. So that's something that I always like to watch, and not a Dodgers fan for sure, but he's definitely a player I like to watch.
So kind of taking a little turn here. Have you ever had to deal with like a serious injury throughout like your career with that being in high school or in college? And if so, how has it like affected your performance like on the field, on and off the field?
Yeah, for sure. I think I've been blessed enough to not have anything that like ended my season by any means. In high school, my sophomore year, I had some tendonitis in my elbow, and I think that actually motivated me a lot because that year they put me on junior varsity for my second year in a row, and that kind of pushed me to like want to make more jumps in baseball because until then I was successful in everything I did. I never got cut. I never did anything, and to have that like being stuck from junior varsity as a freshman to junior varsity as a sophomore, I was like, well, something's got to change. And so that for sure motivated me to stay healthy, take care of my body, go work out and stuff like that. So
the injury like motivated you to like make that step from JV to varsity from like sophomore to junior year?
Yes, for sure.
And then one more question for you. What kind of like, as an outfielder, what kind of like preparation do you do like before like playing a team? Like what does like the scouting report for you like look like?
Yeah, for sure. So team to team, typically we don't know much unless it's conference. So if we're just like, we were just in Colorado a few weeks ago and I didn't know any of those players. So, but you learn over the course of a series, like what guy's going to do. And it's pretty fascinating as an outfielder where, it could be a right-handed hitter up and everybody shifts a certain direction. And then the other thing mainly we'll do is like if two strikes are there, the hitters are typically going to try to go the opposite field. And so that's when our outfielders will make big adjustments. And that saves a lot of outs typically. And sometimes we get beat and most of the time we make good plays. And I think that finding ways to put ourselves in the most
you're hitting, like when they switch, like when like a different pitcher comes in, like what's like the thought process of that? Like say you're like the guy up to face, like the first one to face the pitcher, like what goes through your head?
Yeah, for sure. Typically, I like to be very aggressive with my approach. So if they're going to put a new pitcher in and the kid is just warming up, I think he's going to throw the first pitch right where I want it. So I'm going to swing very hard and try to hit it as hard, like up the middle, good line drive, whatever. That would be typically how I'd go. Something that we have this year that I know is new to the team, even though this is my first year, we have this thing called Synergy, and it's a big application that a lot of teams use, and it tells you every pitch and every tendency that these pitchers do. So we'll pull out our binder, and in the table it'll tell us this guy throws 70% of this and 60% of that. And that's really helpful because then maybe I can just eliminate a pitch and I don't have to think about it because I know he's not going to throw it. And so from that aspect, that's the best way we prepare. But when it's a game where we don't have that information, it's just try to be as aggressive as I can, but don't beat myself because every time I just assume that I'm better than that pitcher.
Well, I'd like to thank you once again for joining me on this podcast. It was great to have you.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me.
And once again, big thank you for Papa John's for sponsoring the Inside the Dam podcast. And after this quick break, we'll have another amazing student athlete for you guys.
Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's. They have 2 locations in Minot and the Air Force Base. Search for Papa John's in Minot online through your device and seek out any deals that are currently available. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That is 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for their tremendous patronage. We will be right back with our next guest. Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's. They have 2 locations in Minot and the Air Force Base. Search for Papa John's in Minot online through your device and seek out any deals that are currently available. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That is 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for their tremendous patronage. We will be right
Hello, everyone. I'm Siri, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. We just want to thank Papa John's again for being our sponsor for the Inside the Dam podcast. Hit them up on their website and search for any deals they have going on. Search Papa John's in Minot. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That's 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. Big thanks to Papa John's again. And today I am here with Ms. Bailey Wride. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. So no need to be nervous today. We're just going to get to know Bailey, what she's about, how she's come to life and all that kind of stuff. So we were just talking about earlier how you're like from Montana. How is it like being from Montana and coming over to North Dakota?
Well, it's very different. Where I grew up, it's like you're surrounded by mountains, and that's definitely not the case here. But I really like it. Like, for the most part, it's a big change, though, but It's been fun.
Okay, is it like the same amount of cold, would you say?
Yeah, it's just more wind chill, definitely.
Oh,
Wind
okay.
chill's kind of brutal here.
It ruined it a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you go home over the spring break?
I did, yeah.
Okay, how was that? Just
It was good, nice and warm. I went skiing and stuff.
Oh, okay, so you know how to ski too.
Yeah.
So let's get into the cross country and track talk. Let's see here. Let's go with cross country first. Or which one do you prefer more?
I prefer track.
You prefer track.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when you got like recruited, was it more for cross country or track at first? Would you say?
I'm technically on a cross country scholarship, so probably.
Oh, okay.
cross-country.
So that's how
Yeah.
it looks. What's it like doing cross country? How did that season go and stuff like that?
It was okay. It wasn't like the most ideal like season for me, but I did okay.
Okay. What was the most memorable?
Well, our like top 7 girls, we drove to Arkansas for a meet, and that
Okay.
was fun.
Was the road trip fun?
Yeah, it was long, but it was fun to just be with the girls. But it was pretty hot in Arkansas.
Oh, okay, big change from being in
Yeah.
Minot. So, I guess we'll go more in the track talk. I didn't know much about it, so I was wondering if you can say it again, explaining the difference between outdoor and indoor track.
Okay. Well, indoor you run clearly like indoors, and the track size changes. It's either a 200-meter track or a 300-meter. Compared to outdoor, where it's a 400-meter track.
Okay, and then when you're running on there, like how many laps extra do you think it adds on to whatever you're usually running?
So say like, because my main event's the 800, so on indoor, if I was running on a 200 track, it would be 4 laps, but if I was running an outdoor, it'd just be 2. So
Okay.
it just stacks them up, but
A
they're
little-
quick.
How do you deal with that mentally? Like, do you try not to think about it?
Yeah, I like personally don't like thinking about all that. Like I ran the mile on indoor this season, and it was 8 laps.
Oh gosh,
And that was too much for me.
brutal.
Yeah.
But now it's over. How do you feel about it ending now? You know, going
I
to
had a-
outdoor.
I had a good season. I'm excited for outdoor, but I definitely feel really good with how I did in indoor.
Okay. Does anything you do indoor, like, do you translate that at all going outdoor? You just try to, like, leave everything indoor behind, just this whole new thing?
I mean, like, kind of take, like, I don't know, because I feel like I, like, left indoor at a very high note, so I'm trying to just bring that over to outdoor and, like, just, because I had never had an indoor season before, so
Okay.
now I'm hoping outdoor will just be, because I'm used to it, like,
Yeah.
running on outdoor tracks, so I'm hoping that will be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was talking about this earlier with you. We were just chatting it up. You set some records here at Minot State. How does that feel? Like, did you know you were gonna set it, or did you find out after? How does that?
Well, like, going into some races, I was like aware of what the like time to beat was. Like, so like when I broke the 1K record, I think the record before me was 3 minutes, and I had never raced the 1K before. And I just went out and ran, and then when I saw I ran a 2:59, I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. But for the 600, which was my main event this year, I was aware of what the record was, so I was trying really hard to get it.
And you're only a freshman, so are you gonna break your own record then? Is that gonna be the plans, or was that like a really hard achievement that you didn't know?
I'm hoping next year I'll be faster and beat those, because in outdoor I don't there's not the 600 or 1K, so next year I'll get them.
Okay. Any outdoor records then you have your eyes on?
I really want to get the 400 record, but that's not my main event, so hopefully just get close to the 800 record.
Getting closer into stuff. I know, like, honestly, track, it seems more like individual kind of sport, but it's kind of a team. So are you, like, close with your teammates and all that?
Yeah, I really love my team, because especially they were my cross-country teammates, too.
Okay.
And then there's also the other track kids, which they're all super nice, but, like, the group of girls I've been running with since the fall, we're all pretty close, I'd say.
Okay. Or is there a lot of freshmen in there as well? Or
There's a couple. From the cross-country side, there's 2, like, other girls, and then there's a couple track girls that are freshmen too.
Okay, so like going into meeting in the team and all that, like, were they very welcoming then, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so
they're all pretty nice. Yeah.
does your coach do any, like, I don't know, explain it, like icebreakers? Did you guys have to do that kind of stuff, or just?
For cross country, we had a team camp. Like,
Okay.
our first I think we had been in Minot for like 3 days, and then we went to South Dakota for a team camp for a week.
Oh,
so
wow.
that kind of just threw yourself into that, getting to know everyone.
Was it camping like in a cabin or?
No, we like stayed in a house, but
Oh, okay. I mean, it's not tent camping. I'd say that's that'd be a lot of team bonding
that
there.
would be a lot, yeah.
Just let's talk more education now. In Minot State, what are you majoring in? Anything yet?
I'm majoring in criminal justice.
Oh, okay. So what are the plans for career then?
I mean, I'm hoping to go into law school after,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not 100% sure if that's what I want to do.
Okay, what got you into it though in criminal justice?
My dad is a sheriff's deputy, so like not that I want to do that, but like I've always kind of been interested in like the criminal justice system as itself. So
Okay, do you like watching those documentaries then? Like
yeah, and the crime shows. Yeah,
What's your favorite one?
I really like. Why am I blanking? NCIS, which is like Navy kind of stuff, but that one was fun.
Okay, this is a little more about me, but when I first got here, I used to confuse NSIC and NCIS a lot. So I was calling our conference NCIS, and people were looking at me weird. I'm like, what? So I'm glad you mentioned that. Let's see here. Let's just talk more about Bailey then. Being at Minot State, I know you're only a freshman, but have you gone out to get to know the city at all?
Not really. Like, I went to that little, like, I don't know what park it is. It's, like, with all the old buildings over off Broadway. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, man, I'm pretty new, too.
With the big, it has, like, a big llama statue. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, wow.
But I went there with,
Talking Scandinavian Heritage Park.
yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I have seen that. Okay. So, 2 newbies here at Minot, guys. Sorry.
So I went there when I first got here with some friends, but I don't go out too much.
Do you live in the dorms?
Yeah.
How's the dorm life?
It's nice. I got my own room, so
Okay,
yeah.
That's the best thing you can ask for.
is.
Like, it's fun having a roommate, but having your privacy
Yeah.
is also the best thing ever. So I'm just gonna go tie right back into the track and cross country. What makes you prefer track more? Because you mentioned that earlier.
Well, because in cross country it's longer distances,
Okay.
so running like over 3 miles is not ideal for me. And like track, I don't know, it's warm out and I'm kind of better at it, so I like it more because of that too.
What's the farthest you ran in cross country?
The farthest we ran was a 6K, so it's like 3.7 miles or something.
Oh my gosh! Anything above 1 mile is a lot to me. I'm a goalkeeper. Like, I am a soccer player, but I'm a goalkeeper. So anything above a mile is. How do you work on the pacing and stuff like that?
For cross country?
Yeah.
Sometimes I would just wing it, but I also at the end of the season, because I was used to my team, so I would pace off of some of my team members because they're good at that. I'm not very good.
Oh,
so I'll be
okay.
like, oh, there's one of them. I'll stay off behind them a bit.
Okay, so that's something you're working on then, the
Yeah.
pacing and cross country. Did you feel like cross country does help a lot too when it came to track season though?
Definitely.
All that
yeah.
running?
Yeah, definitely has my endurance up. So when I run the mid distance events, I can hold the sprint longer. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys have to sprint too?
Well, I mean, I guess it's not entirely a sprint, but it's a long sprint, I would call it.
Okay.
You're just holding it. You're running as fast as you can for a lap, 2 laps.
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
3.
I have a lot of. I'm a soccer player and I know we run, but how do you run for fun? Do people ask you that? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always really been running. I started in elementary school. I played soccer for a year, but that wasn't for me. So when my parents put me in cross country and stuff, I had fun, and I don't know.
Okay, so if it wasn't for cross country or track, do you think you'd be playing any other sport?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, because my family was a big soccer family for a bit, so I
Okay.
feel like maybe that would have been a sport I could have been into, but all my siblings run cross country and track too.
Okay.
it's a family sport, I guess.
Yeah, well, you're carrying the tradition well, I would say. Just one last pop-up question. What's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food?
All time.
All time. Oh, this is hard. I mean, I really like chicken and rice.
Okay.
Like orange chicken and rice.
Like anywhere specific or anyone that has to make it?
My mom. My mom's orange chicken
cooking.
and rice. Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here with me,
you.
Bailey. I hope good luck with outdoor track season. Hope you break some more records, and we'll see how the next years take you on too as well.
Yeah.
And we would like to also give a shout out to Papa John's Pizza for sponsoring our podcast and for always feeding us. We're going to go to a break now. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's. They have 2 locations in Minot and the Air Force Base. Search for Papa John's in Minot online through your device and seek out any deals that are currently available. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That is 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for their tremendous patronage. We will be right back with our next guest. Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's. They have 2 locations in Minot and the Air Force Base. Search for Papa John's in Minot online through your device and seek out any deals that are currently available. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That is 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for their tremendous patronage. We will be right back with our next guest. Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's. They have 2 locations in Minot and the Air Force Base. Search for Papa John's in Minot online through your device and seek out any deals that are currently available. They can also be reached at 701-852-7272. That is 852-PAPA to place an order over the phone. We thank Admir and the Papa John's crew for their tremendous patronage. We will be right back with our next guest. Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Dam podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this latest edition of the show. The podcast is produced by KMSU TV and Radio as part of a partnership with Minot State University Athletics. We are glad to be joined by more talented and fantastic guests reigning from all the Beaver teams on campus. The Inside the Dam podcast is proudly sponsored by Papa John's.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to the Inside the Dam podcast. It's me, Siri, again. And before we get started, we'd like to thank Papa John's again for sponsoring us and the Inside the Dam podcast. Make sure to hit them up on their website and give them a call at 701-852-7272. Today, I'm here with Jinu Song. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's, late in the afternoon, so we're doing okay. So we're just going to get to know what you're about and everything that's about you, basically, So just start off where you're from and how was it like over there at home?
I'm from Winnipeg, so Canada, but not really far from here. And then I went to a junior college in Chicago before I transferred here to Minot State.
Okay, and we were talking about how you lived with a bunch of teammates, basically.
Yeah.
How big was that house?
3 bedrooms and a basement, but we try to fit 7 guys in there.
Oh,
So,
did you have a roommate?
No.
Literal roommate?
I didn't share my room because it was quite small.
Okay.
But, yeah,
I guess
pretty
small
bad.
room, no roommate, kind of.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Were you the only cleaner? Was anyone else clean in the house?
Not really, no.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm a girl, but I can't imagine living with men. But you survived. How was it? How did Minot end up finding you in Chicago?
So recruiting-wise, I just sent a lot of emails out. I had a coach from back home from high school connect me to Minot, and then we just got things going from there.
Okay. What did you most like? Did you have a visit on campus?
No.
Okay.
I didn't get to visit at all.
Oh, like FaceTime call or like?
We had some phone calls. I had a phone call with Coach Boisner and
Okay.
Coach Wick, but that was really it.
So what made you say, yeah, Minot State then?
Mainly, I just want to be closer to home and see, like, my parents could come and watch the games, come down to Minot and watch the games. That was one of my main things I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it was pretty affordable
Yeah.
to come here. So, yeah.
Okay. Like now that you are here, though, do you like the team and just being at Minot State at least?
Yeah. I've gotten pretty close with the guys.
Okay.
Traveling with them, I've gotten pretty close. I live with Grant, who was just interviewed a couple minutes earlier. He's been a very good roommate. And
Better roommate than the Chicago guys?
Yeah.
Is he clean?
yeah.
I mean, I know he's listening, so you
Yeah.
can't throw him under the
Yeah,
bus.
yeah.
But okay, so let's just talk baseball now. You guys are going to start later this March, the season. How has preseason been for you guys?
We gotten off pretty slow, but I think recently we found our rhythm, winning games, and I don't know, just getting to better chemistry-wise, team-wise, just figuring out what roles they need to have, and everyone's starting to buy into what we need to do as a team to win games. So, yeah.
Okay. And is there a lot of transfers in also for the team? So is it kind of a new team in general, or?
I'm assuming it's around 50-50.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So not like too bad. And we were talking about this earlier. So you play catcher and second base, and you play second base more often.
Mm-hmm.
Do you prefer any one or the other though?
In junior college, I didn't play second base at all.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I prefer second base more to catching. It's easier on my body afterwards. Yeah.
When was your first game playing second base? How was that?
First game playing second base was in Minnesota against Concordia St. Paul. I think I had a pretty good game there.
Okay. And did it click for you right away, or did it take a couple games to be okay?
I took a lot of reps at practice to feel comfortable out there. I wasn't really worried about how I was going to play in defense. It was mostly the offense I was worried about, so defense-wise I was comfortable.
Okay. How is it batting against our conference? Have you played any of the teams yet?
Conference-wise, I think the competition's pretty good, but in JUCO, you play guys from all over the place, and I played against guys who went to Power 5 schools, and then I played against guys who stopped playing baseball completely afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So the competition was varied from the highest of highs to lowest of lows. So the conference is pretty good.
Okay, so you're getting a good challenge being here and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. How about the guys too? They give you a good in your own team a good challenge at practice and stuff, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Have you ever tried pitching yourself?
No.
Okay, I'm just
I will not.
never. I don't know anything about Well, I know some baseball, but let's just talk more education now. What are you majoring in here at Minot?
Majoring in corporate fitness and wellness management. I'm looking to go into physical therapy as
Okay.
my grad school. Still trying to figure out if I want to stay in the States or go back home to Canada or not.
Okay.
Physical therapy is the way I want to go.
Is there any reason why you'd want to stay here? Like, have you liked it a lot here in the United States?
Yeah.
A lot. Okay. What about back at home? What would make you want to go back home?
I'm more familiar with back home, and all my family and friends are there. So the decision's pretty hard because I'd like to stay and live in the United States, but I'm pretty divided right now.
It's still up in the air and stuff like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
You have one more year here, or are you going to try to do any other extra years?
I'm trying to graduate next spring. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know some people, I've seen players do 6 years. So I'm like, I don't know how I don't even know how you managed to do that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's your favorite part about baseball in general? I feel like that's basic, but.
Baseball, mainly just being with the team, just the dugout atmosphere, traveling, being with all the guys. It's just, I get to make lifelong friends. And then playing, I just get to perform. Everyone's behind me. Just get to feel energized before a game and during the game.
Okay. How was the road trip over there to Colorado, like just to drive?
Pretty grueling. 12 hours in a bus isn't easy for anyone, I'm assuming. So.
Yeah. Did you have to sit by somebody too?
Grant.
Oh,
Yeah.
sit by him.
Yeah.
And is he a lot taller than you? So it's taking up space.
Taller, yeah, but we're both like wide in the shoulders, so we just crammed in there, just sitting together. Yeah.
Oh, geez. What are your go-to snacks on a road trip?
Go-to snacks, gas station hot dogs.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, taking a big risk there.
Okay, what about a drink? Do you grab a drink as well?
Just water, maybe Sprite.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite flavor Gatorade? Do you like Gatorade?
Gatorade, just the orange Gatorade.
I like orange.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm actually shocked. A lot of people don't like orange,
Yeah.
so I'm okay. That's a good answer. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of how much we can get to know. Do you know Minot well, like the city?
Not
Gone
at
out?
all. Not at all.
You stay home?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, have you tried any of the restaurants here? Fast food places?
Starving Rooster. I've been to Starving Rooster.
Okay.
I try not to go to any like fast food restaurants, but Qdoba and stuff like that.
Qdoba's like the best
Yeah.
fast food option, so I could see that. That was
Yeah.
all I was eating last semester too. Just going into the season, how are you guys feeling about it? Like, I know you were saying, you guys got to adjust in the preseason, but now you're going into the season, any adjustments that you guys are making, or mindset, or even actual game plays that you're changing up?
As a team, I think we need to just work on more situational and timely hitting, because I think everyone as a group is talented on their own, but we need to figure out a way to put things together and have more timely hitting so we can win more ball games.
How has it been, like, these past couple games that you're talking about, like, started off slow and stuff like that, but do you see any, like, right off the bat, like, oh, this is something we are actually good at right away you can notice in the team?
Yeah, I think everyone's just very talented. Our pitchers are very good. Our hitters are very good. It just took a long time for us to figure out what makes us good as a team more than everyone's individually.
Okay. When's your guys' first home game? Do you know for sure?
I think it's the last weekend of March.
Okay. Do you know who it's against?
Wayne State College. I think.
Do you know anything about them or nothing yet?
Not at all. No.
Okay. I didn't know whoever I was playing against either. I'd find out. Where else have you guys played in this preseason? Was it just Colorado, out of state?
Colorado and Concordia, St. Paul. Those are just two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's St. Paul? Is that
It's Minnesota.
Minnesota? Okay. I'm like, I know they're in a conference, but
Yeah.
I don't know that much as well. How was it being in Minnesota? Did you guys stay there for a couple days?
For I think 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys also play series as well, right? So, like, is it 3 games during season? That's how it's going to be?
3 to 4 games a weekend, and then midweek series, it's just 2-game doubleheader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys get a lot of games in still during the season, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Any goals you guys have as a team so far? Like we want to make sure we get this, or?
Our main goal is to get to a regional,
Okay.
but I think conference tournament is just the first goal. We need to get there first.
Step by step kind of
Yeah.
thing. Okay, that's good. Let's see here. I'm just trying to think of more ways to get to know you. Well, just think of a second question here. Who's your favorite baseball player professionally?
He's not really popular, but Hank Conger. Everyone's been calling me that as like a nickname. 'Cause
Okay.
we're both from Korea, South Korea.
Oh.
So I've liked him growing up.
Where does he play right now?
He's retired, but he coaches for the Minnesota Twins.
Okay, so he coaches. Do you ever want to coach?
I don't think I'll be a good coach. Personally, it's not what
At all?
not what I'm meant to do.
Do you have any like professional future hopes after Minot?
There's always the dream of playing professional baseball in the back of my mind, but if that doesn't work out, physical therapy.
Physical therapy for do you want to do it for baseball players too? I'm guessing.
Yeah, mainly athletes, specializing in athletes.
All athletes in general.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask this second question too. The same one I asked Bailey. Favorite food.
Favorite food.
All time. Death row. Last meal.
I don't know. Our team went to Pizza Ranch as a team on our last trip to Minnesota.
Okay.
So Sioux Falls, I mean.
That good?
Well, you get to eat a lot of food there.
So you would eat there last? Oh my God. Was it like a buffet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just the pizza. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what's it called? Pizza
Ranch.
Pizza Ranch in Minnesota, guys. So if you're there, that's the place to go. I think that's all I have for you. Any last shout outs you want to give yourself or the team?
Not at all.
No shout out to Grant. Just kidding. But okay, so thank you for being here tonight. I hope it was
Thank you
fun.
for having me.
Of course. And we would like to also thank Papa John's Pizza for sponsoring us. Make sure to hit them up. Give them a call, 701-852-7272. Thank you, guys.